Hello folks, this is XB here. I know it's been a long time and I'm happy to say that I'm back. Today we have a special treat for you, another developer interview with another developer who doesn't really speak English, so I will be conducting the interview myself, of course. I've basically sent a list of questions to Asnet from Luckcatchers from the company DIP Online, which is located in Russia. And I just asked him a bunch of questions because I don't know about you, but I've always felt like there was a little bit of a disconnect in communication between the players and the developers of that game. And I just wanted to sort of get to the people behind the game itself, the actual people running the show. So anyway, I sent him off a list of questions, and he was kind enough to answer them, him and his whole team, in fact. So today we're going to get to find out who are the geniuses behind the game and who are the people running the show, and just get to know a little bit more about them. So pretty exciting stuff, and I hope you enjoy this as much as I enjoyed asking the questions. All right, folks. Here we go. Question number 1 to Asnet was, tell me about your coworkers. We want to see the faces behind our favorite game. And this was Asnet's answer. By the way, all the answers, I may change the English a little bit to make it a little bit easier for you to understand, but their translator did a pretty great job of already translating it, so we'll see. All right, so question number 1, tell me about your coworkers, and here is what he said. Asnet says, our team consists of beautiful people strongly devoted to the common cause, fellow thinkers passionate about the world on the edge of Inside Out. Our features and natures can be noticed in the characters' portraits. Take a close look at them. This is what we are. Let's learn more about each one. First up is Dmitry, DIP Online Director. He is our true guru, the chief of all chiefs, the wisest of all the leprechauns, the founding father of Luckcatchers and many other games. The thought leader, the bearer of light, the pointing finger showing the way. Up next, he says, Andre, senior programmer, is a technical soul of our projects, the lord of the server and hardware. Ilya, interface programmer, sews windows and buttons together. He is smooth, true, and spiritual values defender, sometimes serving as the voice of the team's conscience. Up next is... this one I couldn't really figure out how to pronounce, so I'll just probably butcher it here. Evgeny, programmer, is a maths god, the head of calculations and extraction, processing and production figures. That is, same name, I can't pronounce it, who decides how many resources your character will get in one click. Up next is Mikhail, programmer. He is our wonder worker, the bug killer, the lord of error correction. And then there is Sergey, the senior artist. He's the advisor dominating over pixels, tiles, ships, and inspiration. Up next is Andre, community manager, is the head of communications with players. He repeats all the bugs that you face in charge, and he's also in charge of rewards and bans. I believe Andre is Asnet, if you're curious. Up next is Tamara, who is the translator. She is a sweet, hardworking person who translates everything related to the game and players' thoughts from English to Russian and back. In fact, I'm assuming she's the one who translated all these questions. All right, so that's the team. I didn't get any pictures, but that is the team. I'm going to do my best to put the text up on the screen as we read along. Okay, here we go. Up next, number 2, I asked, what was the first game you ever played? And his reply was, most of us faced video games for the first time when they were packed into arcade machines. Like, I won't try to say the Russian here, I'll just pronounce the English versions of them. Sea Battle, Icebreaker, Hunter. Then the times of Nintendo games and watch systems copies came. Each of us was discovering the video games world differently. The first game seen by Dmitry was Elite at ZX Spectrum. Sergey got into this after getting familiar with Wolfenstein and Pac-Man. Yeah, Wolfenstein was one of my first ones too. The first Andre's game, who's the community manager, so Asnet, was Rise Out. Ilya started with Mario and Battlefield 1942. So question number 3. I asked, aside from Luckcatchers, what is your favorite game of all time? There are a lot of games that we like, he says. We look at any game with respect. People put their priceless efforts and time into making a game. We try to have a look at all new games. It is a new experience every time, and a lot of pleasure too. We play games both from world-famous studios and from unknown newcomers who have just made their first games. So no specific answers on which game. Number 4, where did the inspiration for Luckcatchers come from? His answer was, we take inspiration from everywhere, from our own experience and the experience, suggestions, wishes, criticisms, sometimes rather harsh criticisms, and compliments of our players. Number 5 question I asked, give me some history of the development of Luckcatchers. From when was it first conceived until now? From when it was first conceived until now, excuse me. He replies, at the very beginning, Luckcatchers was a completely different game. The first alpha testers noticed that it resembled the Luckcatchers novel by, I think his name is Alexander Peykov. The developers got acquainted with the novel and connected the author. After some discussions, they got the license from him. After that, the game continued to progress based on Peykov's books, which we, the developers, liked very much. Now we try to stick to the concept of the world on the edge of Inside Out, described in the books Luckcatchers and Special Post Delivery. A bit of an aside for those of you who are curious about the lore behind the game. I did do some research to see if the books that were the inspiration for the game are available in English, and as of early 2019, they are not available for English readers, so unless you read Russian, you're going to be out of luck. Okay, up next, question number 6. What are your proudest achievements within Luckcatchers? And he replied, we are proud of our players, the core of our community. We have created and continue to develop the world where the players can interact directly with each other. The world on the edge of Inside Out is unique and vast. Here, everyone can find something that one likes. Everything depends on the man himself, his nature, charisma, wishes, and preferences. The game mechanics allow each player to unveil his talents, sometimes in a rather unexpected way. Here, everyone meets new friends or gets deadly enemies. From their first days in the game, wise and charismatic leaders start to unite their fellow thinkers who then will become the foundation stone of a strong guild. The guild will gradually grow and become stronger using the production capacity of cities. Then, it is time for the first settlements of the unknown guild to appear. Soon, the special settlements of the guild appear. After that, they come to the decision to capture a bastion and territories. Eventually, the mutual trust appears between the players. Step by step, the guild conquers on the world on the edge of Inside Out. The guild that was completely unknown in the past comes into power. The whole world has to consider its strength, and the name of the head of the guild makes enemies tremble with fear. Unfortunately, any empire cannot last forever, and here comes the time when the core that used to unite the players disappears and the guild decays by itself. New leaders come, the whole process repeats again. So, to sort of break down all that stuff, what he was saying is his favorite part of the game is the guild mechanic and the whole political mechanic in the game, where players form groups, make those groups powerful, take over territory, and then perhaps break down and a new group arises. So he likes the political, I guess we would call it a background simulation of real life people playing. Okay, up next, question number 7. Were there any decisions your team made that you wish had been made differently in hindsight? His reply was, it would be nice to have more freedom in market issues, more tools for communication, more crafts, more journeys, and discoveries. That was a little hard for me to understand. I think he was talking about a little bit more freedom in the market, ability to change prices and stuff like that, manipulate them perhaps. That was a little bit hard for me. Maybe you guys, I'll post the text directly onto this video, so hopefully you guys can translate that as well as I could not. Okay, number 8. Looking forward, what is your goal for Luckcatchers in 2019? His reply was, currently we are working to change the client side of the game significantly. That will allow us, I think he means that will allow us to improve the graphics and make it more realistic. We are not sure that we'll manage to finish this work till the end of 2019, but we will do our best. So that's kind of exciting, actually. That's probably the most exciting news of this little interview so far, is that they're looking to modernize the game, bring it up to snuff on newer graphics, and perhaps even a newer engine? I don't know. But EVE Online did something similar to this every 2 or 3 years. They do sort of a graphics and technology refresh, so it's definitely overdue, and hopefully will be pretty great here for Luckcatchers. Okay, up next, number 9. If you're allowed to, are there any updates you would like to hint at in the next year? And so his reply was new ships, new streks, which are fighters for those who don't know, rare resources, dungeons, and raids with bosses, flying islands. That's what he says. So I'll let you guys translate that yourselves in your own minds. Maybe you figure out what that means. All right, number 10. Tell me about the journey that brought you to DIP Online. So this is Andre. This is Asnet. He says, long ago, I was seriously caught by this wonderful game. I played long and was one of the most active users. By coincidence, I appeared to be living in the same city where the development company was. So when they put up a vacancy for a community manager, I sent the mail and waited, holding my breath. Several days passed, and I was lucky to be invited to the interview. It went smooth, and I got the job. So Asnet was a player who applied to be community manager and got the job. So there you go. That's happened in many games. Okay, so number 11. Is there anything else you would like to say? He says, of course, we want to say thanks to each player who believes in us, supports us, advises, I think he meant gives advice, blames or praises. Thank you all. It is very important to us. Kind regards, Andre Kutin, community manager for DIP Online. All right, folks, there it is. That is the interview. So as you can see, there is a team behind Luckcatchers. I know that one of the big questions was who was the power behind the game. And it's nice to see that there is an actual team working on the game. And I'm hoping that due to the fairly small size of the updates that have been coming in over the past year, that there's some major work underway. Asnet did mention that they're looking at doing a update of the graphics and the game in its entirety. So I'm really hoping that is still going on and we have a major technology update coming for the game. So here's to hoping, and I hope you enjoyed that developer interview. Soon, eventually, I'm going to make a video for 2019 on what is the current state of Luckcatchers. Is it worth playing? What has changed since the last year? And so anyway, I will hope to see you guys in that video soon. Thank you very much for watching, and this is XB. Until next time.